And quick story. So I run a podcast. We have a mastermind. We had about almost 300 people inside of a single family and multifamily mastermind. And we
Love
go
it.
all around the country. I do probably, I don't know, 20 live events a year. I have to speak from stage. But in 2019, like before, from 2014 to 2019, I was building my business. I was the guy behind the scenes doing deals, I had no platform. My email list was my buyer's list. That's it. I was not speaking at conferences, doing that stuff. And then my mentor said, "Hey, I want you to speak at this event." And I was like, I was so uncomfortable. If you go back there, like I have my pits are covered in pit stains of sweat. I was so nervous. I was so uncomfortable. Like I was monotone, had no energy. It was just like, this is what I did. Here, all content, no belief shifts, just like, here you go, do
Yeah.
this X, Y, and Z, you'll be successful. And when I look back at that, that was like a couple of years of that. And then he asked me to be a coach, and then I became the COO of Seven Figure Flipping. But I was behind the scenes. I wasn't in front of the camera. I wasn't the marketer. I'd show up at the events and deliver the fulfillment piece. I was a great coach. But I was not a recruiter. I wasn't a speaker. I wasn't the person who had to be on camera, running ads, dealing with marketing, bringing people in. And in 2019, I bought the company from my mentor. I bought Seven Figure Flipping from the guy who started it.
Mhm.
And he had a podcast. And I was like, oh crap, I have to do this podcast. I called up my friend, his name's Mike Simmons, and I said, Mike, you got a podcast. Will you also do this podcast? Like, I don't want to do it. I'm scared to do it. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it for sure. It's much bigger than my podcast. So I'll definitely do it. And I realized the next day, I was like, it's a huge mistake for the company for me to do that. I got to get my voice out there. I got to get the owner out there. I have to be the one. And so I hired a coach. I hired somebody to help me. He's a public speaker that I've hired a few times. Amazing speaker. Hired him to be my coach. I paid him 10 grand for 3 Zoom calls. And he taught me how to speak. He taught me how to be in front of a crowd. He taught me how to kind of work an audience. He watched some of my previous presentations, broke them down, and just showed me a couple things. And that's from then on, because 3 months later, I had my first event in October 2019 that I had to run. I had to be the guy on stage. I had to run it all. I had to make the offer. I had to sell things, all stuff that I was afraid to do and uncomfortable to do. And so it's just a next level of me reinventing myself
3
to
Zoom
say,
calls.
I have to do that. Yeah, 3 Zoom calls, 10K.
So you invested in
Right.
yourself.
Oh, for
Exactly.
sure. For sure. I mean, at that point, I had probably made
Amazing.
in 2015, I bought my first mastermind program, $25,000. It was 7 Figure Flipping, the company I own right now. I'm like the
Yeah.
hair club for men guy. Okay. I'm like, I'm not just the client, I'm also the president, that kind of thing.
President. Right.
Yeah. So like,
Amazing.
I came up in that world, and then I bought the company, but I still struggle with that to this day. I still get nervous before I speak in front of a couple, even 5 people. It doesn't matter. But definitely 5,000. The biggest stage I've been on, over 5,000 people. And
Great.
I just have to go through it. I have to do it. And what I realize is when you know what you're talking about, it becomes easy.
Mhm.
Yep.
If you're faking it, it's nerve-wracking, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I know that I have walked through this, it's my story, I know what I'm talking about, no nerves. It's very easy to get in the zone and start talking about that. But when I start talking about something I don't know, I start trying to step in something that's brand new, and I'm pretending to be an expert. That's where you're off. So if you just be authentic, be you, be real, talk about the problems, it can come easy. But I still get nervous. I was sharing this the
Yeah.
other day. And I was in front of 15 people, and it was my turn to talk. And I was like, hey, can I just be real with you guys? Because this is a group of people that pay me to coach them. And I was like, can I just be real with you guys? I'm nervous right now. And
Mhm.
I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but my heart starts beating really fast, and I get a little warmer, like 10 degrees warmer before I get the microphone, even in a small group like this. But very quickly, I just get in the zone and shake it off. So you can overcome difficult things. So with all that to be said, it's very important to share your
Yes.
story,
Yep.
speak, and start attracting what you're looking for. You attract the right people, you attract the right partners, you attract the right contractors, you attract the right, 1099 folks that are going to work with you, title
Mhm.
companies, all the things
Mhm.
in real estate. You're going to attract what you want if you put yourself out there. It's really important.